Hi, this is Richard Bromwell here from Charterhouse Auctioneers. We're going to have a bit of a walk and a talk through our classic and vintage car auction. Now, first up, this is the very first lot on the sale. This is lot number one, which it usually is. This is a 1985 Opel Manta hatchback. It's automatic. Those of you reckon you know your cars, it's a GTE. No, it's a GSI, and you're obviously raising eyebrows at that. It's a GSI because the owner imported it brand new from Belgium. He was ahead of the curve. I've known this car in this barn for about 18 years. One owner car, no reserve, rare survivor. Next up, also in white, is this early 1980s VW. We've called it a Beetle. It's a little Briggs & Stratton petrol engine in it. It's got a mountain leather steering wheel. These were bought by VW dealerships in, say, in the early 1980s. And I think we've got a bill on file for this for £1,700. Bit of fun, ideal for a VW Beetle enthusiast, or maybe for your grandkids or for your kids, I don't mind. Anyhow, reserve one there, it's around about sort of £2,500 to £3,000. Next up is a 1955 Land Rover Series 1, known as Vibe because of the registration, not because it vibrates. As you can see, it's here fitted with a later petrol engine. Lovely interior, nice canvas tilt. Value on that round about 10 to 12,000, or actually the same price as this 1923 Morris Cowley Sports. Again, the earliest car we have in the sale. Nice to see the petrol can on the outside. Obviously, that's the days when there weren't many petrol stations about. Interior and a very pretty rear. Rear of the year, I think 1923 that. Moving on up to 1972 is this rather smart MGB GT. Now, we see and sell a lot of MGBs. This is actually one of the better ones we've had in some time. It's got a heritage reshell. It's fully restored, wires. It's all got the trimmings and bits and pieces you'd expect, and it's around about 10 to 12,000. Again, that's less than the cost of a shell. A lot more money though is this Bentley. There we go, beautiful flowing lines on it, winged bee mascot, there we go. You've got again, another great rear end shot there. You've got the interior of the picnic tables, new leather interior. It's been well maintained, well looked after, great paint. Value on that between £25,000 and £30,000. More modest, but again, which was a supercar when it was new, is this BMW. It's a 1999, it's an Alpina B10, that's the V8. We know that because, well, that's not just because it says it on the back, because that's what it is. There's the engine. And again, this is from a little private collection of cars down in Devon. The owners enjoyed it. It's done about 135,000 miles, probably most of them at warp speed as well. Value on the Alpina, sort of £8,000 to £10,000. From the same owner is this wonderful 2002 Aston Martin. It's the Stratton Jubilee Limited Edition. There we go. It's got its plaque on it there. Lovely leather interior. And there's the engine room there. Well maintained, low mileage. And the value on that is around about sort of £45,000. And also from the same client as well, he's having a bit of a clear out. Here we go. And there's this 1999 Jaguar XKR. Again, as we call it, the full fat version. Low miles, beautifully maintained. One of the better ones we've seen in some time. Value on that round about the sort of the £15,000. And almost like a baby little XKR, isn't it? Little BMW Z3. This is the 2.8 version. Again, the nice big engine. I think we're going to see some movement on these. The M versions, the hatchback coupes, they've rocketed recently. And this, again, well maintained. We sold an E-Type for the owner in the last auction. His client's having a clear out. He's down in Torquay, and this one's valued about £5,000. But for those of you, we've got plenty of projects as well. We've got two MG Midgets. Now, both of these Midgets, these were bought by the vendor around about 33 years ago. He previously restored about 5 Midgets. We've got one here. The first one is an early 1970s, and the other one is a 1961 in the yellow. So the 1961 is I find a little bit more interesting, probably a little bit rarer, and those are being offered for sale without reserve for the owner who lives over in Essex. Also an Essex car, only by manufacturer, really, is this Ford Escort. What a beast. So as you can see there, it's an RS 1600. It's concours. It's a Group 4 rally spec car here. And this one, that is 6 figures, I'm afraid. You'll have to sell more than a kidney to buy that, around about £100,000. Next up, we've got a couple other stranger cars as well. We've got this Toyota Hilux. You're saying, why is it there? It's there because it's from a local deceased estate and it's no reserve. So great towing vehicle, workhorse, whatever. We don't mind. We sell modern cars as well. Again, jumping back to more projects here. And this actually is not possibly the great shot of it, but it actually shows you really what it is. It's a 1948 Jaguar Mark IV, and it's got the 2.5 litre engine. There's a photograph of Mick. Mick bought this car in 1965. There's a picture of Mick with his wife and one of his sons. And the next picture is a picture of his, I think, nephew and nieces. And again, this is for full restoration and round about the sort of £6,500 to £7,500, but long-term ownership there. Also, reasonably long ownership is this very pretty Mercedes-Benz, the SL280. Again, it's lived down in Weymouth. It's enjoyed some of the sun down there. Used very sparingly by the owner, who's just decided that he's aging in years and he hasn't got enough time to drive two cars. And sort of this is in complete with its hard top as well. This is in and around about the sort of the £7,000 to £8,000. And also in red is a Ford Capri. Here we go, the 1979. This is the 1.6 GL, complete with its furry dice. Well, I suppose technically it's a furry die, isn't it? And again, a local car. Many of us have driven past this for years. It's had quite a bit of money spent on the engine and bits and pieces, and it just really needs to be used now, I think. Value on that, round about the £6,000. And finally is a Jeep. I've always fancied being John Wayne whizzing around in a Jeep in a World War II film. This is a 1942 Jeep, so it's nice and early there. It's a slat front, which makes it, again, super rare, and it's been well restored. It's had a new wiring loom. I think the wiring loom needs to be connected, just a little bit of finishing off, but estimate on that is around about sort of £20,000 to £22,000. So there's a bit of a quick walk and talk through the cars. We've got lots more other cars in the sale as well, and we've got quite a few late entries coming in, but here's a bit of a taste of what's in the sale.